Joining us on the show is the head coach of the Gujarat Titans in Ashish Nehra. Ashish, you know, as journalist, before looking at your top hits, we are going to look at the misses. And the first thing that really comes to my mind is going to be your batting order. We can see the top order. You've got two good batsmen in Shubman and Jason Roy. But I would like to know, how are you looking at the rest of the batting order? Who's going to be your number 3, 4? Guessing Hardik is 5. Then who's your number 6? Are you a little bit worried when you're looking at your batting?
No, not at all. And see, when you're talking about a format like T20, like you just mentioned two openers, they are almost set. But after that, you see the situation, Nikhil, you see the conditions. And at times when you look at team's batting order or names, you feel, no, they are not that great, or maybe they are not that much firepower, maybe they are not that much experience, all ifs and buts. That will always be the case. But see, now, once you have taken the opener's name, after that you have somebody like Hardik Pandya, then you have somebody like Matthew Wade, David Miller. They have so much experience. We have Abhinav Manohar, youngsters. You have Rahul Tewatia. Then you have Rashid Khan. You got some all-rounders. And it's always like, I'll just give you an example. Somebody like Rahul Tewatia, and then you have Abhinav Manohar, you can call Vijay Shankar. If you see any other team, somebody will have Manish Pandey or Hooda. So if you see KKR, they have Nitish Rana. If you see Hyderabad, they have Rahul Tripathi. And it's not like, yes, money plays a big price, but at times you get steal also. If you see, somebody like somebody like Jason Roy for 2 crores, you can see Vijay Shankar 1.4. And now people around Vijay Shankar, if you see, I just have taken few names like Nitish Rana or Rahul Tripathi or Hooda or Manish Pandey. Point of view, then Vijay Shankar is also steal. And then some teams, they might have one international for fast bowler, but they don't have the support, or maybe good foreign spinners, but Indian spinners. If you look at our bowling, we almost covered all the bases. You have with Rashid Khan, Sai Kishore, Jayant Yadav, we have Lockie Ferguson, Shami. So in the end, you have to win the match. Like you win with bowling, you win with batting.
Yes.
And all these youngsters we see every year, there's one different youngster comes, or there are two different youngsters that they do really well.
Okay. Ashish, we have to give you kudos in terms of the young guys that you have picked, and that came as a revelation to all of us. I'm looking at a Yash Dayal you got for 3.2 crore, Abhinav Manohar, Sai Kishore. Now, these are not household names yet. Only the ones that follow a lot of cricket locally would know about them. What was the thought process? Do we still have Ashish with us? Ashish, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. I'm back.
Sorry, I was just saying about the youngsters that you put who are not household names in Yash Dayal, Abhinav Manohar, Sai Kishore. Tell us about your scouting program. Clearly, it seems to be very, very strong there to have picked these relatively unknown guys at the moment.
See, when you talk about a Sai Kishore, he's not unknown. He's very close to India white ball setup, right? Somebody like Jayant Yadav, they were not that many off spinners. When you talk about domestic off spinners, you have Ravichandran Ashwin, you have Washington Sundar. Then you have Jayant Yadav, and the kind of price we got Jayant Yadav for, I was really happy. The only person who was maybe not happy was the player that, as a player, as a sportsman, you want to get as much as possible, but you know how IPL goes.
Yeah.
So we are very happy with the pick like Jayant Yadav, Sai Kishore, you have mentioned Abhinav Manohar, right? Yep. And scouting, these are the guys, I know them. Our team knows them. And it's a new franchisee. Going forward, yes, definitely we'll try to set up even better scouting system. But no complaints this time, like you rightly mentioned. Somebody like Abhinav Manohar or Yash Dayal.
Yes.
It's not if we have got somebody like Yash Dayal, youngster for 320, somebody we did for him for 3. Right? So people see his value. Like there can be discussions that somebody asked me. Few people asked me, oh, you paid 9 for Tewatia. I said 8.5 or 875 bid was the most successful team, Chennai Super King.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
So you have to make a team. You have to take the best out of the players, and it's very easy. Like like some teams you will see they have a great firepower, but then their bowling is weak. Some teams you feel that their bowling is good, then they are adjusting, because here you're not talking about international cricket. Here you're talking about IPL, and now this year there are 10 teams. So there are only that many players. So 1 or 2 holes you always have to fill, or maybe you can say those guys you have to make them play, and they are future stars, Nikhil. If you see. The same Shubman Gill or Devdutt Padikkal or Prithvi Shaw, previous big auction, Devdutt Padikkal we got for 20 lakhs. But now where Devdutt Padikkal is in 2-3 years. So I'm hoping for somebody like Abhinav Manohar, somebody like Sai Kishore. And I'm really hopeful and really backing somebody like Vijay Shankar, who has been around India, played for India, and I'm looking forward at how Vijay Shankar does, because I really believe in him.
Okay, Ashish, stay on with us. I have one more question to ask you, but before that, even Sunny Bhai joins us right now. He's joining us live from Kolkata, where the T20I series is going to start. Sunny Bhai, thanks so much for talking to us. Firstly, I'd love your thoughts, because I was reading your column, and you had written in your column saying that you think young players, especially uncapped players, shouldn't go beyond 1 crore and there should be a cap. Could you just elaborate a bit on that for our viewers?
Yes, I think the reason I'm saying that is one. What happens is that if you some of these players will only play 14 days of cricket or 16 days of cricket if they play for a franchise which goes to the finals, and sometimes when they pay the kind of money that they are paid, then they are not interested in playing Ranji Trophy, or they're not interested in playing the other tournaments that the BCCI has, and that does not help Indian cricket. So that's one of the reasons that I was thinking that maybe there should be a cap. Also, because otherwise, what happens is, if you don't have a cap, the Ranji Trophy players feel like the poor cousins of Indian cricket, and the Ranji Trophy players are playing. Leave aside this year because you're only having a group of 4 in each, 4 teams in each group. So three matches plus I think quarters, semis, and finals. So this time there would probably be about 25 days. But when you have these 4 other groups where about 7 teams are there or 8 teams are there, they are playing almost 40 to 50 days of cricket. And for 40 to 50 days of cricket, if they are going to get about 20 lakhs of rupees, while somebody who plays 14, uncapped player who plays 14 or 16 days of cricket is going to get crores, then people are not going to be playing Ranji Trophy cricket. And we all know the pinnacle of cricket is Test cricket. And so Test cricket, what is the ground from where the Test cricketers are coming from? They are from Ranji Trophy cricket. So just to balance that out, my suggestion to the BCCI had been many years ago that you have a limit of 1 crore, maybe 5 times what the Ranji Trophy player gets. So if the Ranji Trophy player is getting about 25 lakhs for a season of playing all the matches, including Vijay Hazare Trophy and Mushtaq Ali Trophy and the Irani Trophy, and when there was the RIP Trophy, if he's getting about 25 lakhs, then maybe 4 times that amount, 1 crore, which is a lot of money for an uncapped player. Let the bidding continue. Whatever the price is after that goes to the BCCI. And then the BCCI then uses that money to give the Ranji Trophy players that much more. And then what the BCCI has done with the slabs is also fantastic for Ranji Trophy. That's how it should be. But pay more money to the Ranji Trophy players as well, and not just to the IPL people. That's what I was saying.
All right, Sunny Bhai, that's an interesting thought there, of that you can go for a little bit of a higher bid, but let it go back into the pool of Ranji Trophy. Ashish, I know you have to go, but before we let you go, one final question. Tell us a bit of an update about your captain in Hardik Pandya. Is he fit again? Has he started bowling? Do you expect him to be bowling and playing as an all-rounder once the IPL comes along?
See, if he bowls, it's great. But to be very honest, Nikhil, for us, especially for me, we are more than happy to have Hardik Pandya as a batsman, because I don't see any T20 team in the world. I'm not only talking about IPL, where Hardik Pandya, the batsman, doesn't fit. Whatever number he bats, either a 4, 5 or 6. Yes, there are always discussion. There is always speculation around his bowling. Yes. If he can bowl for Gujarat Titans, that will be great. But if, let's say, he's batting fit and not bowling fit, I will be still very happy to have somebody like Hardik Pandya.
Okay, Ashish Nehra, if I could say that, I concur with you. I think he's an explosive batsman. Even if he's part of any T20 team as a batsman, he can make a major difference. But thanks so much, Ashish, for joining us. I know you have other media engagements right now, considering you're the head coach of an IPL franchise. But we're going to continue our discussion with Sunny Bhai. And Sunny Bhai, the other big headline at the moment that has come out of the IPL auction has been that of a few stalwarts like Suresh Raina. Then there is Amit Mishra, the third highest wicket taker. Suresh Raina, Mr. IPL himself, Ishant Sharma, who's part of the test squad, they've gone unsold. Is that a reflection of how the IPL is, and probably also an indication that the teams are looking at future, because you may not have another big auction, so no point getting a player who would be available maybe for a year or two and look at more youngsters?
I think that would be the basic thinking as far as the franchises were concerned. Also, I think apart from Raina, because Raina would have been useful both as a batsman and a bowler, and he's still a very, very good fielder. But with Amit Mishra and Ishant Sharma, they are one-dimensional players in the sense that they are only good for their 4 overs. As fielders, they'd probably be not quite the IPL standards are, and that's the reason why the franchises didn't consider them. But with Raina, I think it was a bit of a surprise that he wasn't picked.
What RCB fans really want to know, Saibhai, right now, there were 3 teams that didn't have a captain. It seems like KKR is sorted on that front. They've got Shreyas Iyer, so he becomes their captain. In RCB, I was talking to Harbhajan Singh the other day, and he had a feeling that RCB may go back to Virat Kohli now that he's not captaining the Indian team, so that, burden on his shoulder is not there. So he could probably take the captaincy back again. But what do you think? What would be the ideal candidate? Go with someone like a Maxwell. They even have Faf du Plessis, who's captain at international level.
I'd look at Maxwell. I'd look at Maxwell because when you make a player with that kind of batting ability as the captain of the team, then his shot selection gets even better. Sometimes when you're not the captain, you might end up playing a shot that you might, when you go back into the dugout, say, "Oh, I shouldn't have played that shot." But as a captain, I think your shot selection becomes that much better. And the living example of that is Rohit Sharma. When Rohit Sharma was not captain, before he was captain of Mumbai Indians, look at the number of times he's played with lovely innings of 30, 40, 50. After he became captain of Mumbai Indians, all those 30, 40, 50s became match-winning knocks, where he finished the match. He was right there till the end, not leaving it to the others. And something similar can happen with Glenn Maxwell as well.
And for Punjab, the only other team without a captain, they've got a Shikhar Dhawan, they've got a Mayank Agarwal. Who do you think they should go with?
I'll look at the future. And I'll look at Mayank Agarwal because I do believe that Mayank Agarwal has got leadership qualities. He speaks well. He's a hardworking individual. He wants to get better than yesterday. Okay. And he's very, very fit, very enthusiastic, a real team man. You can see that when he's playing for India, how he's always ready to pop in onto the field. Even if he's not in the 11, he's ready to pop in onto the field. So every aspect, I think Mayank Agarwal is somebody that Punjab should look at as the captain. And who knows, he could be considered in the future for the national captaincy as well, if he's consistent with his performances at the international level.
That's a very, very interesting thought. Not something that has been spoken about at the moment, but as Saibhai mentions, you can sometimes see somebody captain the team at the IPL level, and if he tends to do good, you could consider him for the national job, considering you expect him to be playing Test cricket at least for India for a long time. Sunil Gavaskar, thanks so much for joining us. All the best for your commentary stint. The T20I series is coming up, and we are all looking forward to it, considering that the West Indians have had a bumper time at the IPL auction. They're going to be very, very competitive when it comes to T20 cricket. So don't look at what has gone by in the ODI series T20 format. It should be fun. Saibhai, thanks so much for joining us.